Hello there and welcome to Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, January the 20th now, 2026. International Day of Acceptance. Do we still do that one anymore? I'm not so sure. It sounds so much last century, doesn't it? But anyway, it is also Penguin Awareness Day today, meaning it's Winter Waddle Week at Dublin Zoo. Come on now, we talked about this on the programme last week. An exercise initiative, that's what it is that Dublin Zoo are having in association or in... to coincide with Penguin Awareness Day, which I cannot pronounce, saved my life. But anyway, there you go. I've been practicing the penguin word, but there you go. Winter Waddle Week at Dublin Zoo. Yeah, we talked about this last week. Jog your memory. And it's basically an exercise initiative where you walk with the penguins. It's running all this week. And in conjunction with that, up for grabs, a lifetime pass, a golden ticket to Dublin Zoo. So... welcome to Tuesday. We're live. It's the Daily Crack with me, Sean G, here on Global Irish Radio. We hope you're well. And it reminds me of a joke that Brendan Grace used to tell, where a fella walked into the bar and says to the bartender, "How high is a penguin?" Or "How big is a penguin?" To which the bartender replies, "Well, about this high," pointing to his knee or thereabouts. And your man says, "Oh, well, it must have been a nun I hit so." Welcome along. We are live here on Global Irish Radio here in County Mayo. The Daily Crack with me, Sean G, dailycrack.com for podcasts of the programme. If you can't stay with us live, with you for the hour, mind you, so hopefully you can stick around as we bring you up to speed on all that's going on in the world. Well, this world of our world here in Ireland. It is back to the rain in County Mayo. A soggy mess all morning long. Lots of rain, and we told you so as well. I hate being right, but yeah, we told you yesterday that it was cold and it was sunny and crisp and dry yesterday. Nice day it was. But we did say, well, the weather people said that there'd be a change overnight, and that's exactly what happened. Windy, wet weather came in over Ireland last night, and lots of parts of the country. Although it's a little bit drier now, it's a little bit nicer now, but all day and all morning it's been just like the rain has been coming down. A status yellow wind warning has just passed out. Well, there's been a few in effect from early on this morning for the east of the county or east of the country, places like Dublin, Wexford and Wicklow. And there are other warnings coming into effect for later on today as well. Wind warnings we're talking about now. Met Éireann said there would be very strong and gusty southeast winds going into the afternoon, and said high winds could lead to hazardous travelling conditions, wave overtopping and localised coastal flooding. So as you can imagine, warnings going into effect for coastal areas. And there's also a gale warning in a place for Bloody Foreland. Not sure where Bloody Foreland is, but to Strandford Lough and to Carnsore Point. These are all coastal areas around the country, and wind warnings going into effect that will remain in place until about 8 p.m. this evening. The weather warnings come as rain and blustery conditions are moving northeastwards across the country today. Typically it comes from the other direction, but there you go. Watch out for all of that. Is dangerous or maybe some hazardous travel conditions as a result of those kind of high winds, those blustery winds. It is kind of breezy out there now here in Mayo. It's been raining all morning, and the rain kind of clearing off a wee bit, just a wee bit, but it's still a little bit windy out there. So as I say, watch out for that. We're live on Global Irish Radio. We are the Irish Diaspora Station, and if the weather folks are to be believed, there is another winter weather event coming our way maybe next week, towards the end of January, and we've talked about this quite a bit on the programme as well. Temperatures across Ireland they're expected to plummet before the end of the month. So whilst wind and rain are the order of the day today, and it looks kind of, I think, remaining unsettled, that word that is used so often with regards to the Irish weather, it looks like being fairly unsettled coming into the weekend. And then sometime next week, round about the 26th, they're saying that there'll be a cold blast of air coming in across Ireland that they've been comparing to the Beast from the East, which was that very severe cold snap that hit Ireland back in 2018. And likely that temperatures across Ireland will plummet below zero, as I said, around the end of January. When exactly that happens remains to be seen, but based on the present weather models, they're saying round about the 26th, thereabouts. So that's when you'll notice at least the colder air. And as I say, they're calling it the Beast on the East, but they don't expect it to be quite so severe as that particular event, which was a lot of people remember that. We won't let us go. We'll get through this weekend first. We'll get through this week. It's January the 20th, last day of the Aer Lingus sale, by the way. Aer Lingus have been having their winter sale and lots of seats up for grabs. You want to get off to a plan, at least, to get off to a sunny destination. Escape this world of rain and wind and snow and ice and darkness and coldness and that kind of stuff. Today's your last day to snag a deal there, maybe. Fares as low as $179 each way to the United States and upwards as well. You'll be lucky if you get one for $179, but there are deals to be got. So, as I say, today, the last day, and travel between now and sometime in March with blackout dates around St. Patrick's Day, as you can imagine. So that's the Aer Lingus sale, last day. Grab yourself a bargain. Now, what have we got for you today? As I say, we're here with you most days around about this time, sifting through the news and bringing you the chitter-chatter of the nation. There's music as well, the lighter side of the news, top trending stories. If something you want to hear, by all means, studio at GIR. We'll get a studio at GIR.ie. That's where you need to go. So, look forward to hearing from you here on the programme. My name is Sean G. And the programme's called The Daily Crack. And the Northern Lights last night, did you get to see them? There are lots of pictures in our papers today. Spectacular displays over the Irish skies last night. And we were in the middle of supper when the call came in from Maureen urging us to get outside and check the skies. And once we adjusted our eyes, we managed to get a glimpse of, quite a spectacular display and visible over all parts of the country, because I see online on social media and in our papers there are snaps, pictures from different people at different parts, all the way from the north to the very south down in Cork. Lovely, lovely pictures of the Northern Lights. As I say, the Northern Lights created a stunning scenes across Irish skies, and stargazers were out in abundance. According to Met Air, the Northern Lights, also called the Aurora Borealis, is that what they call it, are the results of collisions between gas particles in our atmosphere and charged particles ejected from the sun's atmosphere. So it's a coming together of particles, if you will, and they're colliding and they're giving off this spectacular display of light. The Mayo colours almost, green and red. So it's nice to see over our skies, particularly here in Mayo. The colour of the Northern Lights also changes due to the type of gas particles that are colliding, and the spectacular natural phenomenon was spotted in the skies above Galway, Mayo, Leitrim, Dublin, Kildare and Cork, among other places. So there you go, and we've been treated to a lot of spectacular displays of the Northern Lights this year for whatever reason. There must be a lot of solar activity, a lot of colliding of the particles going on in the skies above us, and pretty spectacular, I have to say, when you go out there and see it. So there you go. That was last night, of course, the Northern Lights. And it was coming, as I said, as we were having our supper here. And, you know, households across Ireland and across Europe, a lot of talk about this. And we were chatting a little bit about it yesterday on the programme, the fact that households have been urged to stockpile up to 72 hours worth of supplies as World War III tensions are mounting, particularly here in Europe. And lots of news outlets and papers and stuff like that covering the comments from the EU Commissioner, encouraging people to be prepared. This is the world. This is the world we live in today, my friends. And so with that in mind, Margaret had the idea that it's time for us to become preppers and to start planning for this, for the possible, maybe the end. Hopefully not. But anyway, there you go. So we were in Tesco last night, and when Margaret gets an idea into her head, it's hard to get it out. So tinned soup was what was on the list. We said we'll gradually accumulate a stockpile of things that are needed, and looking at what the recommendations are. You know, you're supposed to have water, fresh water, batteries, a shortwave radio, any medical medicine or prescriptions, that kind of thing, and tinned foods and non-perishable items. So we decided we'd do it piecemeal, and yesterday was the canned soup or the tinned soup. So we managed to get a bunch of those and bring, well, a few of them anyway, to try and test them out first to see what they're like. So I brought a few of them home anyway. The next thing you know, I come in and see Margaret already. It's not the end of the world, but she's already having one of these canned soups from Heinz. Vegetable, chunky, which I think is quite nice. But anyway, and I mentioned to her, you know, those were supposed to be for the end of the world. How is it, by the way? She looked at me and she said, well, it'll have to be the end of the world before I'll eat one of those again. So didn't go down too well. So those will be going in the stockpile, and I don't think she'll be touching them again until it is the end of the world, which hopefully won't come about anytime soon. But there you go, the canned soup, not as popular as we thought it might be. But no harm to get a stockpile of non-perishable items and other things that we were thinking about, maybe like tinned salmon or sardines and anything in a can or stuff like that that's not going to spoil and you can hold on to for a while. But anyway, hopefully unneeded. But a lot of talk about that and us doing our little bit, being good citizens, stocking up on the canned soup. Now, make America go away. That is the message printed on red MAGA-style hats being worn by protesters in Greenland at the moment, and it gives the Mirror their headline today again, which says "Make America Go Away." More coverage, lots of extensive coverage on what's going on in the world today and the Greenland and your man who wants Greenland. So a lot of talk about that in all the papers, lots and lots and lots of coverage. It is giving the headlines to a lot, not all the papers, but a lot of them. Yesterday, pretty much all the papers had that as their front page headlines. Today, some of them still have, including, there's a little piece on the Irish Daily Star, a picture of Donald Trump, and the headline there, "Orange is the new blackmail." We don't need to explain that headline, do we? But there's lots of headlines along those lines, and as we say, extensive coverage in the Insight papers and the emergency EU summit that's going to take place later this week to figure out how to deal with this attempt by the Donald to get his hands on Greenland. And it's interesting because if you look at the papers today and you look at the big stories, it's two rich kids feature very prominently in the news today. Two spoiled brats, you might say. Well, one is a brat and one is a bully. One is in his mid-20s, maybe say 26, and that is Brooklyn Becker, and his a very public spat there between he and his parents, and he's coming out dishing out all the dirt on his very famous parents, of course, who everybody knows as David Beckham and Posh Spice. And he's getting a lot of coverage, and apparently one of the most Googled things on Google today is Brooklyn Beckham. And he's launched, as I say, a scathing rant at his parents, a lengthy, a big, long statement anyway, ripping his parents apart on social media. He's 26 years old, and he stated that he does not want to reconcile with David and Victoria Beckham, his parents, and accuse them of controlling his life and image. Now, what you have here is a very a spoiled brat, basically, a rich kid. And, it all started apparently when there was a bit of a falling out over the selling of... The family wanted him to sell the rights to his names to the Beckham empire, the brand empire. But anyway, he didn't want to do it. And from there, things kind of went downhill. And the mom wanted the first dance at his wedding. He wasn't happy about that. And she... something to do with the wedding dress as well. So he's not happy with the parents. As you can see, these are very, very first world problems. And he's coming out and dishing out the dirt on his family for all of the aforementioned reasons and more, I'm sure. And of course, they blocked him on social media. These are the kind of family feuds that the Beckhams had. They blocked each other on Facebook and social media. So that's the spoiled brat. Then there's the bully, the rich kid bully. And that's probably, well, no doubt, that is the Donald and his latest toy that he wants, and that's Greenland, and not getting his way there. As you say, a lot of talk about that in the papers as well, and what to do in terms of handling. As you say, Beckham is 26, mid-20s. The Donald is about 2, going on 80. But anyway, there you go. And a lot of people, and it's getting a lot of coverage as well in the papers today, the letter that we knew there was going to be repercussions when he didn't get the Nobel Prize. Now, let's face it, we didn't know exactly what they would be, but we're getting a greater idea now. And this letter, a lot of people thought it was, because we live in a very fake world, and it's hard to decipher or figure out what's real or what's not real anymore. So a lot of people, but it's been verified, and it's real. The letter that he sent to the officials in Norway, and he says, what did he say in the letter? "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars." Actually, I think it's 8 1/4 wars the last time I heard him. He said there was 8 1/4. Not sure how that's possible. Anyway, he says he no longer feels an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant. but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. So the Donald writing to the Prime Minister or the President of Denmark, whatever he calls himself, with regards to the whole debacle involving the fact that he wants Greenland. He needs a new toy. And it was fine while he was doing his shenanigans over in America, but now he's coming over to Europe and people are saying, oh my goodness, what is wrong with this man? But there you go, as you say, orange is the new blackmail, and he wants Greenland, and he'll get it the easy way or the hard way. Apparently that might involve military action. He couldn't rule that. No comment is what he said. So anyway, there you go. That's the story. We orange is the new blackmail, and the Europeans trying to figure out how to deal with his latest tantrum, which essentially is what it is. But anyway, there you go. So as we say, the spoiled brat Brooklyn and spoiled brat the Donald providing a lot of fodder for all of our papers this Tuesday. GlobalIrishRadio.com, GIR.ie. We are the Irish Diaspora Station and bring you programs from different parts of the world. Wherever there's Irish, you'll find us there, and we're streaming on as many as 25 digital platforms on Alexa. And now, as you know, the Global Irish Radio app back in the App Store as well. So download it, spread the word, and take us with you. It's a big congratulations to horse racing legend Rachel Blackmore, because she has tied the knot. Yes, she has married fellow jockey Brian Hayes. We're finding that out today in our papers, and that all took place in a private ceremony fairly recently. The pair exchanged vows earlier this month at an intimate wedding surrounded by close family and friends in Cork. Brian, now Rachel's husband, shared the very happy news during a post-race interview. No place like a horse race or post-horse race to share that kind of news, right? And he told Racing TV, I've gotten married 10 days now. I've been hitched, and well, that's not what he said. 10 days now, I suppose. Me, myself and Rachel got married, and so he's off the market. And what a lovely day it was, he said. So there you go, her new hubby. And revealing the news on Racing TV. They got married on the Friday down at their home in Rosscarbery, and that's his home place. And then they went up to Cavan, County Cavan, on the Monday, and they did a big party up there with friends and family. It was very nice, and he's happy to be married, and they have yet to go on the honeymoon. They're both kind of busy. He's busy with the racing still. She, of course, retired from racing. I like Rachel Blackmore. She's a nice girl, and she's a very wow, is she accomplished in terms of horse racing and that kind of thing. I think she's smart because she got in, she had a very, very successful career, and she got out. And knowing when to get out. What does the old song say? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Very important. A lot of people, they don't know when to get out, and sometimes they stay on too long, and particularly in the world or in the area of horse racing, a lot of people they stay on maybe too long, and they end up with a lot of injuries, or life-changing injuries, or injuries that they carry with them for the rest of their life. But Rachel seems to have got out unscathed, and that's a wonderful thing, and now she can settle down, maybe have a family. But she's still a young girl, and as I say, a very accomplished jockey. She's a Tipperary woman herself. She's 36 now, and she retired last year. Wouldn't it be nice to retire at 36? Well, she retired last year after a very successful career, as we say, in the world of horse racing. Was the first female jockey to win the Grand National, and became the first woman to be a leading jockey at Cheltenham. So that's Rachel Blackmore, tying the knot this year, and last year retiring from racing. So I think it was a smart move on Rachel Blackmore's part. She's accomplished all that she needs to, had a very successful career, and now can settle down, maybe have a family. Who knows? That the hobby is still racing and partaking in the sport. But there you go. So a nice story for you in a world where a lot of the stories are not so nice this Tuesday. So congratulations again to Rachel Blackmore, tying the knot there with her husband Brian Hayes, and they'll be going on the honeymoon later this summer. I'm sure they're looking forward to it already. Now, what else have we got for you today? Lots and lots indeed to talk about. And I had, let's see, a nice story here about optimism, because optimism is a wonderful thing. Not everybody is blessed with optimism, but I think it makes all the difference in the world. And I felt kind of reassured seeing this little story in the papers today. Being optimistic really can make you healthier. That's what new research is suggesting. Scientists found that people who use a part of the brain linked to positive thinking had better immune systems, and they say it could explain the placebo effect where patients benefited from a dummy drug they expect to work. So in other words, positive thoughts lead to positive outcomes. Isn't that the law of attraction or something along those lines? But anyway, there you go. They carried out this study anyway, and they told these people that essentially they were giving them a drug that would benefit them in some way. And because they were told that, their natural optimism resulted in improvements coming about, and they'd only been given a placebo. So there you go. Optimism, that kind of stuff. Positive, sunny disposition can be a wonderful thing. And it's infectious as well. When you meet other people that are positive and, optimistic, that rubs off on you and makes you feel good, rather than the people that you bump into and they're, glass half empty and it's all the things that's wrong in the world, and that drags you down as well too. So try to be a glass half full kind of person this Tuesday. It's the 20th of January. We are 2/3 through the month already. So anybody still on the wagon for Dry January, we salute you and well done. We're still on the wagon too. And I have to say the second 10 days of the month went by rather quickly. And that's a good thing. 10 more days to go. Can we do it? We will hang in the race. And of course, all the New Year's resolutions, I'm not sure. But I was reading a piece somewhere yesterday that it's okay to, if you break the resolutions, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on them. You can start over again and pick up where you left off. As it says, even Jesus himself fell 3 times. So it's okay if you fall and, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. And as a great song says, get back in the race. So lots of people think once they break the resolutions, that's it's over, it's forgotten, and, they're off the hook. But it needn't be that way. Now, last week we told you about the crabs, the 15,000. How much? 15,000 of them, the crabs that were on the back of the truck leaving Donegal off to markets in Portugal and Spain for restaurants there to end up on the dinner table. And the truck, it went into the ditch and overturned, and all of the containers spilled out with the crabs crawling all over the place. But it's okay. 95% of them were recovered. 5% of them got away. It was a hairy kind of situation for a while. It took about 18 hours. But another interesting story now, because again, and they're attributing this to Storm Gorecki, which hit the UK and parts of Europe last week or the week before, but with it high winds and cold weather and snow and that kind of stuff. But some containers on ships out in the sea keeled over or fell into the ocean, and they're seeing exactly what they lost now, because thousands of chips, French fries, have washed up on a beach off in the UK somewhere. Piles of fries up to 2.5 deep have been spotted across the sand and pebbles at a tourist spot in East Sussex in the UK, and they're, as I say, thought to have come from a container that fell off the ship from Storm Gorecki earlier this month. So looking at a picture of the beach, it looks like it's a sea of French fries. If you only had some crabs to go with it, you'd be well elected. But the week earlier, or a few days earlier, a bunch of vegetables came about. So there you go, and a big call out to the community, and lots of people showed up to help clear up all of these. So as I say, they look like, well, they are French fries, and in amongst them are some vegetables as well, all from that ship that kind of toppled over a wee bit, or some of the containers from it, as a result of those high winds that were associated with Storm Gorecki. GlobalIrishRadio.com, GIR.ie. If you missed the broadcast live here for the Daily Crack, go to dailycrack.com, and all previous episodes are available right there. Lots of other things happening, of course, and as you know, there's been a very public spat between Elon Musk and Michael O'Leary. They got into a war of words of sorts. Started out, I think, with Michael O'Leary referred to Elon Musk as a wealthy idiot. He's wealthy. He's a wealthy idiot, but he's an idiot. He's still an idiot. And Elon Musk retorted and started sparring back and called Michael O'Leary a nutter idiot. So the two of them going at it, and of course it was with regards, I think, something to do with the fact that the Starlink, and Michael O'Leary said he wasn't going to put it on the available on the Ryanair flights. That's Starlink Internet. He said the drag with the antennas on the aircraft would end up costing the company a lot of money, and he felt it was a waste of money. They're a budget airline, and he didn't think people were willing to pay for internet for a short haul flight. It would be different if it was transatlantic or further. So he made the decision he wouldn't be employing the use of Starlink, which is Elon Musk's internet, the satellite stuff that you can get and put the thing on put the little dish out there, and you get the internet over the air, just like that. So anyways, they got into a war of words anyway, and the latest is now Over 30 million people have voted yes in a poll that was launched by Elon Musk asking if he should buy Ryanair. You see, that's what rich kids do. When you fall out with them, well, they buy you basically, or they buy your business. Much like he took over X. But anyway, not a word of a lie. The tech billionaire is involved in a public spat, as you know, as we've just talked about with Michael O'Leary, and he's a wealthy idiot. He also ruled out offering Starlink on the Ryanair planes for cost reasons, as we pointed out. But anyway, 3 years ago, Elon asked his followers, he asked advice, should he buy Twitter, as it was called back then, and the vast majority of fans said yes, he should. And that's exactly what he did. He went off and he bought Twitter, and it's now X. And of course, that's embroiled in another whole other controversy with the Grok feature, the Grok AI feature, which was causing a lot of noise last week with the Nudify feature on there, where pictures could be made naked at click of a mouse. But anyway, Elon Musk putting out the question there: should he buy Ryanair, following their very public spat where they traded insults and the like? And he got a resounding yes. If he were to buy it, it would cost him about 35 billion. Is that roughly what he paid for X? I'm not sure. I think it was in that ballpark, maybe 35 to 40, maybe a bit more for X. But anyway, his wealth, he's on track to be a trillionaire very, very soon. So, he could afford to do so. We will see what happens. Talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve. But that's Elon Musk and, as you say, Michael O'Leary trading barbs online, although Michael O'Leary does not have any social media accounts. In fact, I heard him referring to X as a cesspit. I love Michael O'Leary. He tells it as it is. He doesn't mince his words. So Elon Musk is an idiot, a wealthy idiot, and X is a cesspit. And for all of that, Elon Musk threatening to buy Aer Lingus now, which, as I say, would set him back somewhere in the region of about 35 billion. I think that's the market value. Could be wrong. The Irish Film and Television Academy, IFTA as it's known, has announced the nominations for the 2026 IFTA Awards, celebrating outstanding Irish achievements in film and drama across 29 categories. And the deliberations have been ongoing for months. And following months of viewing and, as I said, deliberating by Academy members and juries, the nominations highlight the strength of Irish storytelling at home and internationally, or so they tell us anyway. Winners will be revealed at the 23rd anniversary IFTA Awards ceremony on Friday, February the 20th at the Dublin Royal Convention Centre, and that's hosted for the second consecutive year by Kevin McGahern. He's a podcaster, isn't he? He does different things. But anyway, the ceremony will the ceremony will welcome Irish and international industry figures to celebrate creative and technical excellence. And of course, we told you last week that there'll be a special Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his exceptional career for Ciarán Hinds, or Ciarán Hinds, Hinds. Some people say Hinds, or fact checker Fergus says Hinds, but there you go, whatever you have in yourself. But that's the IFTA Awards, the Irish Film and Television Academy Awards, and the nominations have been announced, and the winners will be revealed on February the 20th, as I say, at the Dublin Royal Convention Centre. But we do know special Lifetime Achievement Award there for Ciarán Hinds, or Ciarán Hinds, or whatever you want to call him. Now, the favourites for the Oscars, and we have skin in this game, boy do we. Jessie Buckley has emerged as the breakout force of the 2026 Oscars Academy Awards season, with new prediction data by Covers.com. That's a predictions website, I suppose, that predicts all things Oscars. But anyway, they're suggesting the Best Actress race may already be tilting decisively in favour of Jess Buckley, and that's of course on the back of her Golden Globe success. She's won 3 so far anyway, and there's an 89% probability. The stakes are, the betting is all tilting towards and pointing towards a Jess Buckley success at the Oscars. We don't want to be jinxing it now or anything like that, but according to all of the data that's coming our way, points to a high probability, 89% probability that Best Actress will be won by Jess Buckley. Of course, we will have to wait and see when the time comes, but she is well positioned and well poised to take the Oscar, so that is a great and wonderful thing. if that happens, there won't be a cow milked in Killarney for God knows how long. But anyway, there you go. And on the television tonight, we often like to tell you what's on the old television tonight. And last night, of course, The Assembly, which was, we told you, a brand new programme on Virgin Media, a new format where autistic reporters and the like were interviewing a guest. The guest last night was Micheál Martin. He was the first one up, and great, lots of coverage and lots of snippets or positive feedback on that interview with Micheál Martin, particularly on the question of grief and tragedy and stuff, because as we know, Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach, lost 2 kids, one to a cot death and an 8-year-old kid at the age of an 8-year-old kid succumbed to some kind of illness as well. So he talked very frankly and very openly about that last night, and quite emotional in some regards. So that's he's coming out well out of that particular one. Again, it's The Assembly. It was on Virgin Media last night, and upcoming guests include Rosie O'Donnell and Ryan Tubridy. They'll be going before The Assembly in future weeks. But that was last night. Tonight, the pick up the day, according to today's Irish Daily Star, Confessions of a Killer. That's on BBC One tonight at 9 p.m. And the apparent double suicide of Leslie Howell, and Trevor Buchanan in County Derry in 1991 was long seen as a tragic pact left undisturbed in police files until in 2009 Colin Howell confessed to these unrecorded murders. There was a film about that, and what's the name of the guy that played it? But he was a dentist basically, and they were having an affair, and big cover up there. The partners, they set it up as a suicide kind of thing anyway, and as far as the police were concerned, they had recorded the deaths as suicide until he came forward and confessed to the murders. So a documentary tonight, and journalists and investigators describe the shock of his admission affecting families, community and the justice system. So there's exclusive archive footage and confession tapes surrounding the whole event back in 1991, and the story involving those two murders that were portrayed as suicide, and how he almost got away with it only for the fact that he came clean and confessed to it and said dentist. And check it out. There's a movie about that as well. I forget the name of the movie, but it's a good movie. Something else that's on your telly tonight as well is the High Road, the Low Road. We talked about that last week. It's a travel show of sorts where 2 people go on a holiday. They go to the same destination, the same place, but very different holidays, because one goes on the high road, one goes on the low road. With the high road being they go on the luxury side of things. So they pick out a destination, they pick out two people to go along. Tonight it will be Daniel O'Donnell and his wife Majella. They were on this morning with Oliver talking about it and other things as well. But Majella is out in Tenerife at the moment, coming back home tonight to watch it, no doubt. And high road, low road. So they go to the same destination, but they take 2 very different perspectives of the holiday. One goes luxury, high end. The other goes low end, budget. And they see the destination from 2 very different perspectives. But who will have the better time? Well, you just have to tune in tonight. That's High Road, Low Road, which is on RTE on your screens tonight, later on tonight. Repeated at the weekend as well, and you can probably watch it on the player as well. It's a popular one, and people seem to like that as well. So we'll be checking that one out tonight as well. You're listening to Global Irish Radio, Sean G and the Daily Crack. Past time, we got some tunes going for you here on the programme, so let's see what we got lined up for you. I think we'll take something from the bowled Joe McShane, and one that he wrote himself. Daniel O'Donnell had a big hit with this. It's called Erin, Tennessee. Happy Tuesday.
I left Ireland and crossed the Atlantic. At home once more there was no work to find. With a heavy heart I had to make that journey, with thoughts of friends and loved ones on my mind. Landed in New York, then traveled southwards. The city life was never meant for me, and I think it must have been God's plan to lead me to a little town called Erin, Tennessee. There I felt I was back in my homeland, far across the sea. morning I met a pretty lady. She set my heart a-whirl and all could see. And I wanted her to be my one and only, my Southern belle from Erin, Tennessee. And as we walked the hills I told her of my homeland, far across the sea. Well, I found love in that little bit of Ireland called Erin, Tennessee. Settled on green rolling pastures. Was there that she took my hand, and we lived and we loved and we raised our children far away from my own native land. Well, I often tell them of my homeland far across the sea. We have a little bit of Ireland here in Erin, Tennessee.
To Sean G on Global Irish Radio.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Reigelteigel Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Reigelteigel. Listen to the Reigelteigel on Global Irish Radio.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide. And indeed, you're very welcome back, friends. Sean G here with you on the Daily Crack. Coming at you live from just outside Castlebar, this kind of wet and windy day. Rain has stopped for the moment, but no doubt it will be back. We hope you're well this Tuesday, and it being a Tuesday, lots of great music every day, of course, here on Global Irish Radio. Streaming live 24/7 on as many as 25 digital platforms, and our mission to preserve and promote Irish music, heritage and culture. So won't you join us? And coming up later today, Tuesday, Jim Corbett's back with you tonight between 6 to 8, the very best in country and Irish music requests and all kinds of good things there with Jim Corbett, 6 to 8 tonight here on Global Irish Radio. DJ Tom is back 8 o'clock tonight, 2 o'clock local time there in Chicago with a great selection of music and your requests and dedications. Tom at GIR, we'll get to Tom. Ger O'Brien, All Things Country, between 9 to 11, live in association with irishradio.org. And then a little bit later on tonight, 11 o'clock, another chance to catch this broadcast or anytime at thedailycrack.com. Irish Podcasts, your gateway, or irishpodcast.com, a little site that we created as your gateway to all the most popular and most the top 10 countdown, most listened to podcasts here in Ireland. So the list is changing constantly, depending on what is on our minds at any given time, and the political podcasts are ranking fairly highly these days. with all that's going on in the world, and particularly with the situation there in Greenland and the Europeans going up against the Donald. So lots of people looking to it to make sense of it, and that's where they tend to go to a lot of these podcasts, and there are some good ones in there. The Rest is Politics with Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart is a good one for a global perspective, and Caddy Kay and Anthony Scaramucci and The Rest is Politics US, another good political podcast. And of course, Anthony Scaramucci used to be the Donald's press secretary for all of 11 days before he got fired way back when in the first term. But there you go, irishpodcast.com, as I say, your gateway to a world of podcast listening. And of course, escapism as well. If you want to get away from all the podcasts, there's true crime, there's self-help, there's sport, there's everything and anything. It's all right there, irishpodcast.com. And speaking of politics, the Taoiseach here in Ireland is dismissing calls for him to boycott the White House on St. Patrick's Day, following threats issued by US President Donald Trump that America will take control of Greenland and issue tariffs on countries that oppose that move. Micheál Martin said he believes in dialogue and insisted he will be going to Washington in March to meet Mr. Trump for the annual Bowl of Shamrock ceremony in the Oval Office. So there you go. Fianna Fáil leader Micheál Martin is, as you can imagine, lots of people talking about that, and some suggesting that a boycott may be in order, giving the land grab that is happening at the moment and the threats being made to Greenland and Denmark and Europe in general, and then the imposition of those tariffs, which we'd like to thank our American friends for picking up the tab for. The tariffs that are paid for by the American taxpayer that look like they're being levied on countries here in Europe. But anyway, there you go. It's all about optics, isn't it? And what else? We were talking about Rachel Blackmore and the fact that she got out of the sport in good time. She got in, she got out, made a name for herself, got into the history books, and settling down now, tied the knot. And of course, we wish her well and all that. But I see that Katie Taylor, another great Irish sporting personality, Katie Taylor is ready to bring her professional boxing career to an end this year, and with the continued hope of a homecoming in Croke Park to sign off in the sport. So wouldn't that be a cracking into an amazing career by Katie Taylor? She'd like to go out with the bang, with the punch maybe. And Katie Taylor, currently the champion in recess at the World Boxing Council as the undisputed super lightweight world champion. And what a glittering, amazing, successful career she's had. And what age did we say? What age she was? I think she's maybe 39, or is it something like that? I'm not entirely sure, but she's getting ready to call time on her career, and she's put the sport on the map. She's been a pioneer for the sport and done wonderful things and brought us some great moments. So Katie Taylor getting ready to call time on that glittering career, and I'm sure she too recently got married as well, and she's settled down. So well done to Katie Taylor. And I see Kelly Harrington. I talk about getting out, knowing when to get out as well. Kelly essentially retired after her Olympic gold medal at the Olympics. She's had a hugely successful run as well, but I see that she's back in training now. Maybe she's missing the limelight, maybe she's missing the thrill of it all, the adrenaline and that kind of stuff. So Kelly Harrington, who had said essentially that she was all but retired after winning that gold medal at the Olympics, I see is back in training now and is talking about taking on some more fights, and maybe is there another Olympics in her? I do not know, but that is the word on Kelly Harrington. So a little bit of sporting news for you there on our Daily Crack today. studio@gir.ie if you ever feel the need to get in touch with us here at the programme. And we have a request for this one, the new song from Jim Corbett. Let's see if we can line it up. Jim Corbett does the show tonight between 6 to 8. He's with us Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's got a recording studio up there in Donegal, and he records music himself, so he's an accomplished musician and performer as well. So here is his latest offering from an upcoming album that will be available very, very soon. So much to share on the Daily Crack now.
All alone with my troubles, my heart seems to call out to you. There's no use in upsetting, regretting, forgetting a love we thought would never fall through. For our good times together, our memories to treasure, but our future goes two separate ways. All you left me was sorrow, but these words that I borrow bring me back to happier days. So climb aboard this heart of mine. There's plenty of room to spare. Stay there until all your dreams are fulfilled, 'cause you know we have so much to share. Mistakes, Lord, you know what it takes for a man to be robbed of his pride. There's no point in excuses, they serve no good uses. All I need is you back by my side. Darling, forgive me and try to believe that I'm badly in need of a friend. There's one hope left for me, with these words that you see, how to light up our love once again. So climb aboard this heart of mine. There's plenty of room to spare. Stay there until all your dreams are fulfilled, 'cause you know we have so much to share. There until all your dreams are fulfilled, 'cause you know we had so much to share.
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sundays 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on globalirishradio.com.
Yes, indeed, friends. Streaming right here at globalirishradio.com, and great Irish music from Boston. It's all made possible by our good friends out there. Irish 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, bringing great Irish music since 1967. Now, that's not today or yesterday. And great tunes, timeless music that endures. And Paul Sullivan on Saturdays, and newly installed Sunday afternoon talent Joe Reardon filling the big shoes left behind by the great Seamus Mulligan, famous Seamus Mulligan in Boston. So carrying on the tradition, Joe Reardon out there. As I said, Tom is back tonight with Tom's Irish Radio Show, but you'll catch him live at Gaelic Park this coming Saturday for a very special live broadcast in association with Gaelic Park and the Irish Hoolie, which is coming to, I think, the Heritage Centre on the north side and Gaelic Park on the south side. Big extravaganza, big weekend of music. A hoolie, that's what it is. Social dancing and a lot of talent, a lot of stars. So hang out with the stars, and that includes Big Tom, DJ Tom, Tall Tom, this Saturday at Gaelic Park. Open invitation to everybody. Come along and have yourselves a lovely, lovely time as we get to the end of January. Dispensation for those observing dry January and an early end to that. If you go along to Gaelic Park this weekend, Tom is live and you can catch it. If you can't make it there in person, catch it right here on Global Irish Radio. And of course, Global Irish Radio making stops all around the globe. Tomorrow, Wednesday, down to Auckland, New Zealand, the Oliver Lee programme comes your way at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and Sydney, Australia. And it's nice listening to them in Sydney and the Irish Radio Show over there, because it's summertime down there, listening to the heat warnings. We can only dream of that kind of stuff. But 3 hours of great Irish radio from Sydney, the world's hotspot in terms of where the Irish are these days. A lot of Irish people down under, and that's nicely captured. A nice programme, nice guests, and nice music, and a lovely collaboration is the Ireland Calling radio programme from Sydney, Australia. Check it out, 7 o'clock to, or rather 9 o'clock till midnight on Fridays here on the platform. Now, we were talking about knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them in terms of retiring, that kind of stuff. But journalist, writer and podcaster Terry Prone has said that retirement is the greatest con job inflicted on Irish society. She's not for retiring, I can tell you that. Some people aren't, you know. You look around and some people, you know, work is their life, and when they stop working, they die because, you know, they lose purpose and that kind of thing. You see it all too often. But anyway, Terry added, everybody is told it will be great when they no longer have to go to work and that they can stay at home and basically do nothing. She added, retirement, I would suggest, is a great mistake, but it's a deliberate mistake inflicted on people by governments going right back to ancient Rome. So Terry Pro, not mincing her words there, the giving us a pension is something that drives me bananas, she said. At this stage, if you read government policy, if you read political party policy, older people only appear as beneficiaries, as weak leftovers who can be pacified by getting an extra $5 or an extra $10 in the budget when... She said, where did it come from? That diminished view of older people. And she makes those comments in the second episode of a brand new podcast that she does with Fergus Finlay, who was a Labour Party guy, wasn't he? He was an advisor to senior and leaders of the Labour Party over the years. Grey Matters with fellow journalist Fergus Finlay. And Fergus said he knows Terry hates the expression age is only a number, but added, if age is just a number, then 65 is the most pernicious number of all. And he added, we have all been raised to believe that at 65 we are surplus to requirements. So not sure how you feel about that. Some people might agree, some people may not. Some people, they think they've earned a break, they've earned a rest, a well-deserved rest at that. Others think that their society and governments treat them as surplus to requirements and can hush them up, or they can be pacified with the extra 10 or the extra £5 or euros in the budget. So again, another one of the great podcasts that you can listen to on your terms, whenever, wherever you like. irishpodcast.com will link you to all of the most listened to podcasts here in Ireland. But I think that's an interesting one for a lot of people. Different perspectives there. Perspectives from people with skin in the game, I suppose you could say, in the sense that they are all both over 65 now, and they don't like the way that they feel, or the way that the society, or our society and governments treat them. And they feel they have so much more to offer. And she told how... Let's see, she said she told about how in the last fortnight she met two women, one 59 and another 60, working in big international companies. Terry said they're getting the signals they should go. Would you not like a rest? Would you not like to travel? So they're trying to already push them out the door. So essentially saying there that older people treated as second-class citizens, surplus to requirements, as was mentioned there in that little piece. It's from a piece in today's Irish Daily Star. And of course, we like to have our finger on the pulse here at the Daily Crack. Dailycrack.com. That's where you'll find all previous episodes of this programme. And join us back here tomorrow. Margaret's not with us today. She's off shopping for the end of the world. Yes, we have to stockpile and get ready because we live in a, as you say, we could be some people scaremongering, talking about, the global tensions and the possibility of World War III. I don't know, we've got 3 years left of the Donald. Anything could happen in that time. And of course, he's into his almost 80 now, so he don't care. If he's gone down, he probably wants to bring everybody with him. But don't get caught. Make sure you got those stockpiles in place, as you say, all the necessary things. You can look it up yourself. The iodine tablets, I don't know if we still use those or get those. Make sure they're in date if you have them. But anyway, that's what a lot of people are being urged to do, to stockpile and get the essentials, the water and stuff like that. And make sure you get candy. Because it's a very depressing world without chocolate or candy or anything like that. And booze. Booze, most important. He says, as he continues to observe dry January. So some of the things that you should be doing, as you say, you should always have those things in place, like even for just a bad storm or a power outage. And with all of the climate change, these bad storms are becoming increasingly more frequent, aren't they? So it's never a bad thing to be prepared. But make sure you like the tinned soup if you're getting it. That is pretty much our lot for today, I think, is it? That's pretty much all we have, is it? Yeah? Anything else? Anything else? Look around there. No Margaret here to guide us today. So we might skip out a little bit early. Remy is waiting for the walk. And I noticed while looking at the paper last week, one of the papers, Jack Chambers, who is the Public Expenditure Minister, Deputy Leader of Fianna Fáil, seen him pictured with his 2 dogs. And I was shocked to see that one of the dogs is called Remy. Remy. Right after our own little Remy here. So there you go, friends. That's all for today. Thank you so much for your company since about 3 this afternoon. And back here to do it all over again tomorrow. Spread the good word. Global Irish Radio, the Irish Diaspora Station. And take us with you wherever you go. We have to bring your quote of the day before we finish up. And whilst looking up quotes last week by the great George Bernard Shaw, I came across this one as well. And he's got lots of great quotes attributed to him. This one's nice and short and true. Youth is wasted on the young. Now, so there you go. George Bernard Shaw said it. Youth is wasted on the young. That is our lot for today. dailycrack.com. Check out the podcast later on. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We will leave you with the Wolf Tones and rock on, rock all. And God bless the penguins.
The empire is finished, no foreign lands to seize. So the greedy eye of England is turning towards the seas. 200 miles from Donegal, there's a place that's called Rockall, and the groping hands of Whitehall grabbing at its walls. Oh, rock on, Rockall, you never fall. For Britain's greedy hands, or you meet the same resistance like you did in many lands. May the seagulls rise to pluck your eyes, and the water crush your shell, and the natural gas will burn your ass, blow you all to hell. This rock is part of Ireland, for it's written in folklore. Finn McCool took a sod of grass, he threw it to the fore. Then he tossed a pebble across the sea. Wherever did it fall? For the sod became the Isle of Man. The pebbles called Rockall. Oh, rock on, Rockall, you never fall. For Britain's greedy hands, or you meet the same resistance like you did in many lands. May the seagulls rise to pluck your eyes, and the water crush your shell, and the natural gas will burn your ass and blow you all to hell. Oh, the seas will not be silent while Britannia grabs the waves. Remember that the Irish will no longer be your slaves. Remember that Britannia well, she rules the waves no more. Keep your hands off Rockall, it's Irish to the core. Oh, rock on, Rockall, you never fall. For Britain's greedy hands, or you meet the same resistance like you did in many lands. May the seagulls rise to pluck your eyes, and the water crush your shell, and the natural gas will burn your ass and blow you all to hell. Oh, rock on, Rockall, you never fall. For Britain's
resistance like you did in many lands. May the seagulls rise and pluck your eyes, and the water caress your shell, and the natural gas will burn your ass, blow you all to hell.
Around the clock and around the world. You're listening to GlobalIrishRadio.com.